Hello and welcome. Today we've got something special for you. So sit down, take a round, and enjoy. Now that's a cool toy. Hello and welcome to a very, very special video. They're all special. They're all special because of you. Yeah. This time, if you look back at me here, this video is basically a huge happy birthday, a huge happy 30th birthday to Masters of the Universe. As many of you know, there are a few toy lines that I like more than others. There are 3 toy lines that are at the top of my list. 2 toy lines that are even higher up the list, which are Transformers and Masters of the Universe. So this is my special birthday video. My happy birthday, my happy 30th birthday video to Masters of the Universe. As they continue to bring us figures of unreleased characters for their Classics line, which is also part of the 30th line. If you look here, look at that. Shadow Weaver, never released before. Woo-hoo-hoo! Awesome. Why do I love He-Man so much? Why do I love Masters of the Universe so much? We're going to find out here. Because what this video is all about, it's about the gimmicks of Masters of the Universe. That's right. The toys had a certain lure when we were kids, and the reason being is because most of them had a little something special to them. A little gimmick, a little action, a little something that made us go, holy shit, I love this stuff. I gotta get this. I gotta get this figure. And this is kind of my ode to those gimmicks, to those features, to Mattel. So sit down, stick around, and as always, enjoy. So Mattel did a lot of innovative things with the He-Man line. Example, Thunder Punch He-Man here. Too bad I don't have any caps, but you would take those little caps, those little cap gun caps, and you put it in here. As you can see, he's still got some residue in there. You put your cap in there, and this metallic part here would actually pop up when you would swivel the chest here, and it would hit the cap and it would make the noise, bang bang, really loud, like he was throwing his punches. It was neat, it was innovative, it was awesome. Then you would just turn the dial here in back of him to move the cap up further and further and further so you could get through all of them. Result, you pull them back like this, let him go. Bang! You would hear a huge popping sound. And that meant that he just threw his punch across the way to hit Skeletor in the face. It was nuts! It was the most powerful punch in the universe. It was gold. Just one of the innovative ideas, I should say, that Mattel had. So we're going to look at a few other ones here. So here we have Snake Face. So if you wonder, I got stands here for my He-Man figures. So they stand up because these usually tend not to stand up very well. So that's why I have that there. Snake Face, like Medusa, had the power of flipping the back here. Look at the snakes come out of the eyes. Out of the chest. Oh my god. Look at that. Yeah, the spring action doesn't work too well right now, but neat nonetheless. Look at that. That would scare the shit out of your little sister. Look at that. Look at that. So Snake Face, pretty innovative for the time. Even somebody as simplistic as Rattler had a gimmick. Now listen, that's all it was. He had a rattling sound, man, like a rattlesnake. That was Rattler's gimmick. So simple, but at least he had something. Like a neck. His neck would extend. Look at that. So you could see over stuff. Look at me, I can see. Oh shit. Crazy. Crazy. Then we had my favorite He-Man figure, Clawful, because I loved him in the series. I loved his voice. And he had the claw. Look at that. Look at that thing, huh? You didn't want to get caught in that, man. When you get caught in that, it was crazy. It was crazy if you got caught in that. He-Man's like, hey dude, what's up, man? Ah! Shit! My arm! See? Crazy! So clawful. Pretty crazy. Then we had the two that pretty much had the same gimmick, but a little reverse. Jitsu and Fisto. One of them was because he could punch you super hard. Look at that. Don't mess with that. But he could also do Jitsu's move. Jitsu's move was the judo chop. As you can see there. But I mean, he could do it the other way too, and so could Fisto. So pretty much just took the same action on both of them. And then in the commercials, one would go like this to punch, and the other one would go like this to judo chop. Still neat, still a gimmick, nonetheless, and that's what this is all about. He-Man gimmicks. We also had Tongue Lasher, which is another to Snake Man. Look at that, the tongue. Look at that tongue, look at that tongue, look at the color. Tongue only a girlfriend could love. Look at that. That was Tongue Lasher's gimmick. You also had Extendar. Extendar had the gimmick of being able to extend. Could pull up his legs. Could pull up his arms. Like so. And even pull up his head. So then he could be like 50 times as tall as he usually is. Still a cool gimmick. Still a cool gimmick. Alright. So you can't even get him all in one frame. That's how huge he is. Look at that. It's crazy. Alright. Extendar. At his moments. Then we have one of the originals in the series. Manny Faces. And Manny Faces had like triple personality, or triple split personality. And his spinning his head would change, see? He'd be a monster, he'd be a man, and he'd have a robot as well, robot head. So definitely very cool as a kid. Because he kind of got 3 toys in one, which was very neat. We also had... This next guy's not going to look like much. Whew. Oh, take a whiff out of this guy. Stinkor. Stinkor's gimmick was basically the toy smelled. And to this day, this Stinkor smells. It smells almost like patchouli oil. So, he still smells. He's been out of his packaging for like 3 decades. He still smells. It's crazy. From the Horde, we have Montana here, whose eyes would duck out of his head by simply pulling a lever in the back. See? Pretty cool. Just flip the lever there. So, he was always neat. We had the Horde Trooper, which would pretty much just fall apart, as if he was damaged or attacked. You just push the button and it'd fall apart. So, that was always cool. Next up we had, or have, the leader of the Snake Men. Those of you who will remember this guy, King Hiss. King Hiss had a neat gimmick too. He looked human, but on the inside it was all snake. As you can see, take off his one arm, take off the other arm, go in here, you can split his shell up. He was a real snake man. Look at that. Look at that. Crazy. Crazy. Went from normal human guy, super snake guy. So, he was neat. See, these gimmicks aren't found anymore. And that's what the world needs, more gimmicks. We have a leech. A leech, although I can't really show you it. Or I might be able to, I don't know. It's his sucker here, his suction. You push the button here, and then he would basically affix himself to something. And it would hold him there. It's not going to work there. It works a lot better on glass or mirror, but that's what he does. He'll suck on something and hold on. His hands too are suction cups. And his feet. Well, not his feet actually, just his hands. So very neat. This is one of my personal favorites. It always has been. Mosquitoer. Mosquitoer, as you can see, is a big mosquito. And he had the coolest chest ever. If you pump the button on the back here, it's going to suck up the blood and then make it run down the front. Very cool. Borderline disturbing. That is awesome. Love that. Love it! So for the next one, here we have Cobra Khan. And this guy requires a little, how would you say, a little substance to show his special feature. It's Cobra Khan, what he is, he's a venom spitting cobra. So by pushing here, it's kind of like a pump bottle, it would shoot water out of his mouth. So to fill him, you have to pull out the head. As you can see, there's the mechanism, the pump mechanism. Here's the hole. So we're going to pour some water down there. I'm going to make a big mess, but it's okay. If I make a mess and it's for the fans, it's worth it. Alright. So we put his head back in. There we go. So we should be ready to spit. Look at that! Venom spitting mist. Awesome. So you'd have somebody come up to him there, it was all like, oh yeah, I'm super cool, look at me, I'm Fisto, I don't care about you. Spray your face, Venom. So, pretty cool. I got a big mess here. Alright, let's try to wipe down some of this water here. This is crazy. Crazy. And that didn't really work really well. Oh well, who cares? So while we're on the the topic of water, here we have Snout Spout, which is kind of like an elephant firefighter, if you will. And the backpack, we have a hole here. So I'm going to pour it over here this time because I don't want to get any water on me again. Not on me, but on the table. Instead, I got all over my feet. Nice. All right. And there it goes. Look at that. You could even shoot like a hose. Holy shit, it shoots pretty far. Woohoo! God. Could use that as a water gun as a kid. So that snout spout, water and all. So since I got water now all over the place, I'm gonna get out the fire. Remember the He-Man movie? Remember this guy? Remember Sorod? He's got a cool gimmick too. The lever on the back, if you look inside of his mouth, you'll see sparks. So it sparks up. This is very cool. Don't mess with him, man. He's a messed up little weird creature robot thingy. So that's Sorod. Now, there were some He-Man figures that were released that didn't really look like they belonged in the same mold. Cool nonetheless. They were the Rock Warriors, Stondar and Rock-On. These two guys right here. As a kid, these were awesome because they kind of reminded you of GoBot Rock Lords. As usual, Mattel had something very neat. So essentially they're pretty much the same. Kind of a different tooling a little bit, I guess, but overall they're cast out of the same mold, or almost the same mold. So these would convert into rocks. You had to do was basically fold them up. Fold them all up. There, they made a rock. Not a perfect rock, mind you, but a rock nonetheless. They were Rock Warriors. This guy looked a little better, I guess. There you go, look at that. Rock Warriors, man. Stondar and Rock-On. Rock-On! And to get them back, you just fold them up. Fold them up, look at that. What's nice about these guys, though, is they stand very well on their own. Which is cool, because most of the He-Man figures don't after a while. There were other gimmicks, too. Like Dragstore. And then we had also our favorite little magician, Orko. These two had pretty much the same type of gimmick. They had the pull cord here, the rip cord, that would make them move around. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to move the camera so you can see them go. So if we take Orko and we put the rip cord in him here, come on the other end, basically move that pin on the bottom, so when you rip it, it'll it's kind of like a dreidel. I have no idea where he's going. Try that again. He just goes around. So, that was actually kind of cool. It was fun to play. It was fun to play with Orko. Because he did such crazy things. Another guy like this, like I just said, was Dragster here. He would pull on his chain here, pull on it, and the front wheel would roll. So he would pretty much just roll in the line, though. He wouldn't roll, he wouldn't go all nuts like Orko does. So, I put it back in here. Woohoo! There he goes. So that's pretty much him. That's what he did. Again, though, it's the gimmicks that counted. Oh, yeah. If you're pulling it the wrong way, he would go backwards. Let's try this one more time. Whoa! Look at that. Freaking hit the camera. Alright. So the next two that we had were actually probably the most popular of the gimmicks. And if you hear that in the background, you'll know what it is. We had... Oops, don't have the stands for these guys. Battle Armor Skeletor. And to every He-Man in the Masters of the Universe line, or to every Skeletor, there was an equal and opposite He-Man. Yeah, Battle Armor He-Man. So these two guys, and their gimmicks were that when you would hit them on the chest, they would reveal damage. So, look at his chest here, Skeletor's chest. If you hit it once, it'll reveal one hit, 1 mark. If you hit it again, it'll go to 2 marks. And you gotta turn the wheel back here to get back to normal. This was actually a very popular gimmick with kids. I can never get it to come back. Sometimes it's a little hard to reset. There, like a slot machine. So 1, nope, went to 2 right there. So usually go to 1, then you go to 2. 1 mark, then 2 marks. So, there's 1, there's 2. So that was always awesome. Same thing for He-Man, he did the exact same thing. Hit him, yeah, this one rolled right to 2. These things wear out with age. So, it should go to 1 and then to 2. There's 1, and there's 2. So you get the idea. Now, my uber ultimate favorite of all the line, just because of pure coolness and because I absolutely love the gimmick this guy has, because I love this gimmick in any toy. This guy right here. Scare Glow Skeletor. Which for a long time people believe was a ghost of Skeletor, and now they got some other gimmick, some other reasoning for his existence. But yeah. Shirko looks awesome. Look at the eyes on this guy. Look at that. That is so creepy. Woo! He came with a normal staff, a normal green staff, or this special lighter staff, which matches the rest of them. What does this guy do that's so awesome? This little bugger glows in the dark. Yes, he does. And I love glow-in-the-dark figures. I always have. So let's pull down the light a little here on him. Because in order for this guy to glow, he's got to get charged up a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up and I'm going to go turn off the lights. And we're going to see how this guy glows. So we'll turn off this light. Turn off this light. So now, there's only one light left in the room. Right on Skeletor. So I'm going to shut this off. And we're going to see if we can picture him glowing or not. I don't know because of the camera, if it'll work or not, but we're going to find out together here. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look freaking awesome? Scare Glow Skeletor. In all his glowiness. Turn it back on. That is just too cool. It's too cool. I never get tired of that. And the coolness is that this guy still glows. This figure is what, 25? 1,005. Yeah, well, we're going on 30 years of this figure. And he still glows, which is just phenomenal. Look at that. Awesome. It's just too cool. So, that about sums it up for us here. For me, I should say. Again, Mattel, happy 30th on He-Man. It's one of the best toy lines ever. And happy to collect them as a kid, and happy to collect them now as an adult. So, until next time, guys, take care. Later.